Hello, my name is Steve M. Nash and I'm the editor of selfhelpcollective.com, and I'm here to talk to you today about some stress management tips. In particular, I'm going to share what Rajni Sharma has to say. He wrote an article called Living a Low-Stress Life, an Action-Oriented Approach to Stress Management. I'm going to discuss very briefly what Rajni has to say and then share some of my own stress management tips as well. And of course, I'd love to know what your stress management tips are. Please do share. Okay, this is what Rajni has to say very briefly. Stress is very much a part of life. However we wish it, we cannot always live a serene life away from all kinds of stress, worries, tensions and anxieties. Effects of stress. However, high levels of stress for long durations are harmful for our physical and mental health, and some of its effects are irreversible. Then, what is it that you should do to combat stress? What steps can you take to reduce stress in your life? And what are the basic things you can do to manage stress and prevent it from leaving any harmful effects? Rajni then goes on to discuss several things you can do. For example, food and the importance of food and nutrition. A good diet, vegetables, fruit, fish, not too much meat. We all know what a good diet is. Obviously, not too much junk food as well. Exercise, regular exercise, exercising several times a week, walking, running, cycling, going to the gym, that sort of thing. Take control of your time. Rajni says, develop the habit of attending to tasks as and when they become due. So, no procrastination. Small tasks can take away parts of your day when you don't do them. A small task, like I have a brand new light shining on me. Quite an expensive professional light to sort of light up the video, and I had it here unpacked for a couple of months. For some reason I think I must have made it a bigger job than it was, and every day I would look at this job and think, oh, I must do that, and it would take some of my time away. And when I finished it, it didn't take very long. Sorry, I'm looking at the light again. When I finished it, it just takes less of my time. Relaxation, hobby, play. Rajni says, indulging in your hobbies, it is one of the biggest stress busters that I can think of. Developing a support network. Having people you can share your joys with and your pain with. Siblings, work colleagues, good friendships. All of these diffuse some of the tensions that build up in you on a daily, weekly or even monthly basis. And then Rajni goes on to talk about some alternative methods. Self-hypnosis, meditation, yoga, listening to relaxing music. It's important to be aware of the stress that's building up in your life. Even the daily commute. How much stress does that take out on you? Approaching the traffic jam, the gridlock that happens each and every day in the same place. Are you tense before it? Are you tense because it took you longer to get through it? These things will add to your stress. What I've done to reduce stress in my life, and I have a very low stress life, all things considered. One, I work from home. When I didn't work from home, when I used to be a computer programmer, I lived near where I worked, and I either cycled to work or I walked to work. I once drove an hour there and an hour back, and it was an emergency. I was out of work and I needed to have a job. So I commuted 2 hours a day. And in that case, what I did to minimise the stress in my life, I drove to work before everybody else did. I arrived at work at 8 o'clock, I left at 4. Now maybe you can't do that, but it's a way of, it was my way of reducing stress. I commute when it's less busy, or don't commute. And I may have lost money because I could have got a better job by commuting, but I think it underlies the issue for me was reducing stress was more important than having lots of money. Another thing I do, I exercise. I make sure I exercise on a daily basis, pretty much. I have breaks when I work. I know I work for myself, but I could just work solidly, but I have breaks, 15-minute breaks every sort of 2 hours. And I have a 2-hour lunch break. I choose to take pressure off my day, and I choose to enjoy what I do. And these are active choices, and you may want to earn double what I earn, and the cost that you pay is the stress in your life. And maybe you even like stress, even though it might be doing you some harm. It is a bit of a modern disease, I believe, the need to be busy. I don't have time for that, I'm too busy. Oh, I'm so busy, my diary's full. Oh, it's great, isn't it, being busy? One of the reasons we like being busy, so we don't have to face ourselves in the quiet moments. And the cost we pay for busyness, stress. So how stressed are you? How important is it that you reduce stress? Are you prepared to pay the price of reducing stress? And what other stress management tips do you have? I'd love to hear them. Thank you, Rajni Sharma. Thank you for watching this video on stress management tips. Goodbye.